So, a few months back, during one of my court-mandated acts of public service where I cover spirit science completely against my will, I made a video about every claim spirit science has ever made in 2 minutes. Now, obviously, that was hyperbolic because it was based on a video that he had put out recently to mine celebrating 14 years of existing. So it really couldn't have contained everything. But there was one claim that many of you notice conspicuous in its absence, and something that I have never really had the chance to cover because it's in the bowels of an hour-long video. But I have fixed that today, and hoo boy, it is something else. Enjoy. I know I won't.
That left 2 vortexes with nobody using them, not a single person. These 2 vortexes were pulling life toward them, and in life, you can't have an empty place. Life will find a way to fill it.
Wow, now that's a blast from the past. Jordan's good old, not ultra creepy animation. Man, it is so much better, even if it is super low fidelity. I'm not worried that he's going to steal my non-existent soul anymore. And okay, so for context, since we had to start a ways into the video, he's talking about Atlantis. You know, the lost city thing that is totally real and not a made-up place that dipshits pretend is real because knowing things other people don't know, even if they aren't true, makes you cool, apparently.
Similar to if you were driving along a freeway, following another car, and you drop too far behind, someone will fill the place.
Now, I never got my driving license. I live in the UK where I can actually get places by public transport, so I didn't need to. Although I am thinking of resolving that at some point. But this looks super fucking illegal to me. Like, that is not a safe maneuver, is it? Do physics even work like that? No wonder his voice sounds that way. He must have gotten so much whiplash, it has fucked up his goddamn throat.
That's exactly what happened on Atlantis.
Car wreck. That does explain a lot. I mean, you've seen a pile-up, right? Well, if that happens for long enough, the road starts to sink into the ocean, right?
Ocean, right? Ocean? No.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Though the Lemurians had only filled 8 of the vortex areas, Mayan records state clearly that there were 10 cities in Atlantis when it fell.
I think you can see why I had to start around here, because that is the funniest shit I have ever seen. Like, as a visual aid to this fucking thing, stating anything clearly is just hysterical. Not only is it the blockiest, most pixelated photo I think that I have ever seen, it's also not something that I would imagine pretty much anyone, but probably a handful of people, could do anything with in terms of understanding it. And I would bet my middle testicle that Jordan ain't fucking one of them, and never will be.
You can see these records in the Troano document, which is now located in the British Museum.
Well, at least you found a copy of that one that doesn't look like fucking Minecraft shit on a Super Nintendo. But I still don't believe that anything you claim about what it says is, well, even remotely true or logical or factual or anything worthwhile. In fact, after the 5 seconds of research that you clearly didn't do, I found out that it in fact does not talk about fucking Atlantis. And the only reason that anyone thinks that it does is because some dipshit in the 1800s or whatever did a shitty job translating it one time and just fucked the whole thing up. That's the problem with you, mate. You can't just take a bad translation and present it as true just because it agrees with you. It is still fucking wrong.
This document is estimated to be 3,500 years old, and it describes in detail the sinking of Atlantis.
Oh, there's a lot wrong there. Like, even the really basic stuff, like the age is wrong. It is not 3,500 years old. It's closer to half that. And as far as I can tell, it was never stored in the British Museum. Copies of it were there, but not the main thing. And of course, the big one, it simply does not speak about the sinking of Atlantis by any measure. It's amazing how wrong you can be about one thing and speak it with such utter confidence and conviction.
To fill these 2 empty vortexes, according to Thoth...
I'm sorry, according to fucking Whomstest? Thoth? What? Who dat? Why? I know there's probably more context in the 11 previous episodes, but the only Thoth that I know is the one from ancient Egypt. Although I'm pretty sure Mrs. Sick, who fucking loves her some ancient Egypt lore, would string me up by my 7th testicle if I didn't mention that's not actually his name. That's the ancient Greekization of his name. It's actually Jehuti, who, if I remember rightly, was actually named after the badass flying mech from Zone of the Enders. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I forgot.
2 extraterrestrial races stepped in.
Ah, cool, it gets worse. Although it is fun that it kind of lines up with my Zoe reference, since the first game at least takes place in a space station. And I think the second is like on Callisto. It doesn't matter. My point is very spacey. You know, where aliens come from. Except aliens aren't fucking real. At least not any that have come to fucking Earth to move into goddamn Atlantis for some reason. Why would they do that? Everybody knows that Atlantis is on Lantia in the Pegasus galaxy. Duh.
Not one, but two completely different races.
Yeah, because if it was just that one impossible thing, that would be so unbelievable. But suddenly, you've got two impossible things happening. Fucking hell. Bloody typical though, isn't it? You wait an eternity for extraterrestrials to show up, and then you get two of them at once. Just like buses. Only they would actually turn up, I guess.
The first race were the Hebrews, coming from our future.
Wow, that's just so much in such a small amount of words. Can you actually believe that anyone said this? And that they fucking believed it? Because they did. In fact, a lot of fuckwits probably still do. So not only are there apparently fucking space Hebrews, but for some fucking reason, they're also goddamn time travelers. Yeah, if you thought the title was clickbait or even mild hyperbole, welcome to fucking Spirit Science, home of the craziest shit you ever heard. I don't even know how to... What?
Thoth says that they came from off-planet, but we don't know where exactly.
The great and mysterious Thoth doesn't know something, does he? I am shocked. No, seriously, he's made up everything else so far. Why doesn't he just pretend that he knows that too? And didn't you say that the future space Jews are from our future? Well, how far away? Because unless it's like a real goddamn long time, the idea that they A, have time travel at all is pretty fucking ludicrous, and B, got far enough away from Earth to be considered off-planet that coming back fucking meant something is wild, considering the unbelievable challenge even getting out of our solar system poses, let alone even making it to another one to set up shop. You know, it's almost like this was all made up by someone who doesn't know shit about space travel.
The Hebrews were kind of like a kid who went through 5th grade and didn't make it, so they had to do that grade over again.
What a sentence. Seriously, if you thought that interstellar instanced Israelites was a fucking bonkers thing to say, it seems we're just getting fucking started. They are also now in high school for some reason. And yeah, I know he's trying to do an analogy, but it's an apt one for the exact kind of person who would buy into this shit, because they are either school children already, or if they made it into adulthood without dying from forgetting to breathe, they definitely got held back multiple years of their school careers. Hot damn.
They learned all the math, the left brain stuff, but they didn't get the right brain aspect of evolving consciousness, the doing.
Not only are you, of course, repeating long debunked nonsense about left brain, right brain shit, but you're also going with, they big smart, but they too dumb to spirituality. God damn. I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I would imagine most practicing Jews would probably consider themselves pretty fucking spiritual. Although, one can only hope anyone is too dumb to not believe the shit that you spew. Also, funny note on the school thing, I looked through his comment section and someone posted this, which made me laugh real hard. It's so funny to me that it seems like so many of us have rediscovered this video in adulthood after for some reason watching it as kids. 8-year-old me watched this whole thing with no ability to think critically yet. LMAO. Very astute, and good job, my dude, for growing out of this shit. Obviously, some people just haven't. Jordan, cough, cough.
They didn't graduate to the next level of evolution, so they had to do it again.
The next level of evolution, eh? What a shocking shock that you also don't know how the fuck evolution works. There are no levels, my dude. Evolution is not a linear series of checkpoints that you reach in a specific order and then you have done evolution. It changes. Something can evolve in a million directions. All of them still count as evolution. Since, put in a very simple way, evolution does just mean change.
They knew a lot of things that we didn't know yet and brought many concepts and ideas to us that we weren't aware of yet.
Now, you know me, I think that humans are the worst and terrible at everything because they are, but even I give them enough credit to know that they don't need some fucking paradoxical space race, because how the fuck did they get advanced enough if they needed to come back to get that advanced, and so on and so forth. They had to come back and tell them how to do all the things for them to be able to do it. All of humanity's flaws aside, the one thing those fuckers are really good at is figuring shit out and inventing other things. It's amazing. In fact, they're so good at it, they will just make up stupid shit and believe it as if it was true. Thankfully, that's not what's happening here. Fucking constantly. No.
Now, if this is true, this would explain quite a few things about the Hebrew people in general.
Well, I have some good news and some... well, still good news because it's bad news for you. So almost certainly good news for literally everyone else. It's not fucking true. So it does nothing to explain anything about people who follow Judaism. And generalizations are ironic, generally bullshit, and rarely describe any group in an actually useful fashion. Especially when you're just making shit up. Maybe don't even try.
They seem to have many sacred geometries hidden within their culture.
Well, I'll give this to him. At least when he's trying to make generalizations, they are at least so insane that they aren't even able to be, like, harmful. They're just really, really stupid. It's like saying, you know, them Christians, they're always so dodecahedron. It's like, wait, the fuck is that even supposed to mean? And then you just have to slowly back away.
It also puts perspective on the story of Exodus. Perhaps Moses incarnated into that lifetime to free the Hebrews because they were not direct descendants of humans and were being treated unfairly.
Look, I really do hate to give him any credit whatsoever, but as usual, the one thing that spirit science does right is that it sounds like a fucking sick premise for a weirdly specific D&D campaign. I mean, imagine it. Your party needs to go talk to the leader of this group. You roll a nat 20, let's go, on your perception check. And you notice a metallic object with a distinct shape at the top of Moses' head. Your rogue rolls another nat 20, let's go, and manages to sneak up on him while the rest of the party distracts him. And you roll yet another nat 20, let's fucking go! On a dex roll and unzip that fucking bodysuit to reveal goddamn alien Moses. That shit sounds fucking enthralling.
Or could it be that Moses was visited by an ascended master of the Hebrews who guided him to free their people?
I don't know. Maybe it could be that Moses was actually a bipedal robot sent from the future to kill John Connor, but overshot by a few thousand years, broke free of his programming, and decided to help out some of the locals in a spot of bother. I don't know, but that's the problem when discussing tales that are already deeply rooted in myth. They probably aren't fucking true anyway, so you can just say anything about them, and if you want it to be true, then it gets to be true, even if it is all probably bullshit. Fuck's sake.
Given what we know about dimensions and consciousness, it definitely puts a fresh perspective on old stories that didn't make much sense.
By making them make even less sense and being narratively incomprehensible. I mean, it's a cunning strategy, but I don't think it's really gonna do anything other than demonstrate that you're a fucking whack job that thinks that Jews can time travel and have developed spacefaring technology so advanced that they can leave and come back to Earth in anything even approaching a reasonable time span. And seriously, on that note, why even come back? The only thing any spacefaring race is likely to do is expand, expand, expand. Going back to pretend to be from the olden days is completely fucking asinine when it's the planet that you fucking came from.
We could talk about this more, but let's continue for now.
We could talk about it more, but let's talk about it more. God, I wish you could ever learn to shut the fuck up. Unfortunately, the technology for that wasn't even invented by the future space guys. What a shame.
There were no problems caused by the Hebrews coming to Atlantis. They actually benefited our evolution.
Well, yeah, of course there would be no problem with them turning up, because it didn't fucking happen. And of course human evolution couldn't have just happened. That this planet just so happened to be the perfect ground for a particular species of great ape to move beyond its more instinctual tendencies and develop culture and civilization. No, they had to be guided by some random assholes, who again shouldn't be there to do it in the first place, because if they never evolved in the first place, how could they be there to make them evolve that way? History abhors a paradox.
The other race that stepped in caused big problems. These beings came from the nearby planet of Mars.
Oh, and now we're going for the Martian racism, are we? Fuck's sake, man. The generalizations were bad enough, but now you're gonna scapegoat on Jones? He's the last of his people, sometimes, and you're gonna just throw him under the bus when he has saved the planet more times than you can possibly imagine or read in one sitting? For shame.
See, according to Thoth, Mars looked very much like Earth a little less than 1,000,000 years ago.
See, yet more scientific illiteracy. You think that 1,000,000 years is a really long time, and it is for teeny tiny pathetic humans, but on a geological timescale, it's mere moments. Certainly not long enough for the kind of change that would be needed to change a planet from Earth-like to essentially completely barren. Yet again, your Thoth doesn't appear to have a clue what he's talking about. Just like you. I'm starting to think that you might have made him up.
It was beautiful. It had oceans and water and trees that were just fantastic. But something happened to them, and it has to do with something called the Lucifer experiment.
Well, I am sure that is all very exciting and completely made up, but I guess we'll save that bonkers bullshit for another day. For now, I think we have had quite enough of your madness for one sitting. Thank you. Bye!